Welcome. This is the
WerePanda
Podcast
featuring
Daniel,
Levi,
and Alan,
Aaron,
and Kylie.
Great.
I had
We're
to.
back at
I
this
really
again.
wanted to. I've wanted to the last like 5 times. I'm like, if I do it once, I'll get it out of my system.
No,
it
it's
wasn't
okay.
as funny as I thought it would be, but I still got it out.
You want to know why it wasn't as funny as you thought it was?
Shut up, Daniel.
Because it wasn't funny.
Because you're not funny.
Oh, that was rude.
I thought I was pretty
Is that how
hilarious
you
during
feel
the
with
meeting.
everything, like as long as you do it once, you just want to get it out.
Not with everything, just with certain things.
Well, so I think the first thing I want to talk about on the podcast is the podcast is the exciting news.
Wait,
Is it the elephant in the room?
we should call it a padcast because you know how like pandas have pads on their hands? It could be a padcast. Okay, fine.
Yeah, I
It's
think we've
I
already.
like your
that.
ideas. I
like
just
your
didn't like the idea.
enthusiasm, Alan. I like your enthusiasm, just not your approach. No, so we're
Just a little bit.
I know. I'm just WerePanda Productions, in conjunction with Epic Fail Cosplay.
Oh, good.
Levi thought you were going to be talking about something
Man,
else.
I am
Guys,
conceited.
what do you think
I am
was
so
gonna talk
conceited.
What
I
did
feel
you guys
terrible.
Talk about?
I said I am conceited.
It's like,
I just
oh,
realized.
Oh, they're going to talk about me. Oh, no. Oh, I'm not.
All right.
Oh, wait, no, they're not talking
Just
about
do a
me?
little bit.
What? What?
I'm like, I'll know.
keep
I
it
was
on the
like,
DL.
okay, I guess I'll just like say really
All right.
quickly
All right.
that
So what's our
WerePanda
wonderful news?
Productions is going to be in an 18 plus Whose Line Is It anime at the next Anime Bonsai in
For those who
2015.
don't know what that is, that's an anime improv game.
Yeah,
It's a convention.
and
And it's 18 plus.
we're the improv group being prompted by the wonderful people over at Epic Fail Cosplay, and
Check them out.
check
Yeah,
them out.
definitely
They're on
check them out.
Facebook.
They're awesome.
All I know is we're gonna frame that.
That program with our name in it, it's just like
That will be, when people walk into our company, that will be right.
that'll be right
Yeah.
there. They'll be like, "What's this?" And I'll be like, "The first time our name was printed on anything we didn't
It
print
looks
out
so
ourselves."
fake.
The next one over will be this bat with nails through it. It'll just say, "In case of zombies."
I thought you meant like
an animal bat. I'm like,
With
wow,
nails in it.
that's so morbid.
That just that escalated.
Yeah. I was like,
Try
I
to
thought
suck
you were
my
going to
blood
be
now.
I thought it was going to be like a Batman reference or something. Like,
He's not gonna
He's
suck
not
your
gonna
blood
rise now.
either.
So I was just excited about that, and for any of you who are listening to the podcast, and if it's not October 2015 yet, plan on getting tickets to Anime Bonsai so you can come and see us.
you have to be 18 plus 18
or
so
older.
That's the word.
But chances are, if you're listening to the podcast, you'll probably be 18 or older.
No, we don't know our
We
demographic.
prescribe
yet,
to many.
Yeah,
We're
I'm
very
okay with
diverse.
younger people listening. I'm just saying.
We just don't want you.
No, I'm
That's
just
what he
saying.
said.
You're
We
not
talk,
over 18.
we talk about some pretty adult things sometimes.
I don't know. What kind of adult
We're
thing?
pretty mature people.
Right.
I just say so
Mature?
myself.
Puss and snot. That's all I'm
Oh,
going to say.
You brought it back.
Alan, you're
No.
bringing it up. He said we were mature. I'm letting him know that was his idea.
And it was Boogie.
It's
so
Close enough.
Brody. Ew. Oh man.
that was not necessary.
Alan's
I
all.
was drinking.
Drink it
How does that root beer taste now?
Okay. Moving on. So, first topic. Alan and Aaron specifically, because I don't know if Kylie or Levi ever played this game, but do you guys remember the game Scorched Earth?
Yes.
No.
I had a version of it on my computer.
It's that tank game we used to play.
Oh,
And there was all the different types of
Oh, the
That's
shooting. It was basically just. I played the old version.
Yeah.
That was just the one cannonball. And you were
Yeah.
just trying to hit the other one.
I like it when there's like a
Most
variety
fun
of things.
Well, good news. Archive.org. You can now play it on there. As
You
a
can play.
ROM.
I played Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
Yes, Oregon
Kylie-
Trail.
Yeah,
There's-
Kylie told
I
Yeah,
went
there
with
is.
let's
which
see.
which Oregon Trail though? There's the thing.
the one we used to play in elementary
Oh,
school.
okay. Because I played 15, and there's a way.
The
To
Trail of Tears. Now that's a trail. You're not gonna win.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, you
There
don't go
goes
on
the
that track.
18 plus, yeah.
I don't
But-
really think that's necessarily 18 plus. I
Fine,
just think that's
just
racist.
racist. Yeah.
No,
I'm understanding of the
I-
fight.
I found it. I thought you guys would like to know about
Yeah.
it.
Well,
ooh,
I don't know. It's just like foosball and it's like ping pong with you guys. Like, there's all these games that I like enjoyed so much, and I would be always like, "Hey guys, let's play this." And you're like, "Now we're sick of it. I don't want to play with you anymore." It was disheartening
Yeah.
because
well,
there's
it's
the
because-
Fantasy Star Online. Like every day after school, I was like,
we played a
"You
lot.
played you
Yeah.
did play a lot."
Remember, we got to the point where we were
I was-
like at the end of the
I
second
know.
ruins, like the
It's just
second.
like crazy.
Yeah,
like
I
with
mean-
hours and hours of play.
Like
Because
the big difference is certain games are repetitive, and so you can have fun doing the repetitive thing for a while, and your tolerance is just higher than Alan and I.
Foosball, ping pong. There's no
It's the same
Think
thing.
about how
kidding.
think about how repetitive ping pong is. I can that's the sound of ping
No.
pong.
Playing ping pong with you guys, it's ka-tink. Oh,
If that's how it happens every time, think about how
Yeah, I know.
repetitive that is.
Yeah, that could be yet another reason why we chose not to play. You know, losing all the time is just
You know what game I really want to play? Legend of the Dragoon. Remember that one?
We
'Cause we
only
always
had
had
the
the
demo,
The demo,
and
and
we
we
just
never
get
played
as
the
same
game.
far as we could.
yeah.
And like,
There's a lot of those demo games that I wanted to Croc, Jersey
Gex.
Devil. We had Gex.
well, we had Gex, but we had.
I hated Gex actually. Gex was frustrating.
There was that medieval knight.
Like speaking of
Okay,
I don't know
yeah.
Gex either.
Hey,
Yeah, I'm kind of.
oldies. This is PlayStation. PlayStation.
Oh yeah.
IQ.
Oh
Okay.
man, that one.
Was it strange to you guys at all? Like when we like it wasn't a holiday, it wasn't anything special. We just go into the store and like mom and dad buy a PlayStation. It was the weirdest thing ever. They just bought it. And they
Out
never
of the
bought
blue.
anything
No, do you
in our
remember?
life.
Do you remember the reason why they bought it?
Apparently not.
We had
no
just
holiday, no reason, no
no,
nothing.
we had just moved into the house. It had been a long few months living in the apartment, everything like that. We finally moved in. Everything got settled. We helped out a lot, and they said, "You guys were so good. With all the moving stuff, we're gonna buy you a PlayStation." And so
Wow,
they
you
bought us a
remember that.
PlayStation.
All I
That's a
remember
better story
was
than
out
I
of the
remember.
blue. Yeah.
All I remember is there was a PlayStation and Dad would play Tomb Raider all the time, and
No,
then we
and
started.
You
playing
gotta
it
think. You
eventually.
gotta think as well that maybe Dad wanted
Wanted
it
it.
as well.
He's like, I'll pretend
But
like
they
it's for the.
they bought it. They bought it because we did well. We were good. So remember that they loved you guys.
Yes, now
I'm just kidding.
that changes my whole outlook on it.
I don't know any PlayStation games because growing up, my family was strictly we are Nintendo only.
I didn't.
So
even-
we had an SNES, a 64, a GameCube, but we only got a PS3 because it played Blu-ray. Like that's the only reason we
oh,
got
we got
one.
this nice
Exclusive one,
Blu-ray
too.
player that also plays games, I guess.
Basically, like we got it because my brother kept begging and begging, and finally was like, "Fine, we'll get it," but because it plays Blu-rays too.
Gotcha.
See, mine was
And
Super Nintendo,
Yeah.
SNES. That was where, so I stayed kind of Nintendo side, except I
Levi-
never really.
You
Levi
didn't
had
get a
the
GameCube.
one game system that I
Yeah.
always wanted that we never got.
Dreamcast.
Dreamcast.
Like,
Yep.
Can you guys like think about it? Because now we watch movies on the same discs we play games. Like, what if there was a system that like was played VHSs and also played like
Video
VHS games or something?
That would be pretty. It would
That'd
have
be
to like
weird.
go back and forth. I don't know. Did you?
You die, rewind.
You're like, well, I'm just gonna go to this point of the game.
There's this like one game my friend at work was showing me where like it was they filmed filmed all this stuff, and then you're kind of like fighting, but it was real people, like they had filmed real people, and you would like do stuff, and it would actually like block their stuff, and it was crazy, like, because it looked like you're watching a movie, but there's stuff. Yeah.
Alan is moving.
Let me put it this way.
moment.
So
Alan
it looked
is
like
moving
you're
his arms up and down, forward and
Like
front.
blocking.
It looked like you were.
Daniel,
seriously.
Oh my gosh.
I waited for you to finish, and then I'm like,
I know, that's why
go.
it's specifically
Imagine a
did.
wall of sticks and Alan is
Just sticking it to the wall. All right, Alan, what?
So it's basically like you were watching a movie, but it was interactive, and so the way you would do things would affect how the movie would continue on. But it was funny because like it was real life people that were filmed, and so.
Well, I think we're done with the video game section of this podcast.
Oh, great! Yeah. After
I want to tell the story of us picking up the fuel pump yesterday.
Okay.
It's your little stupid thing. If that's okay with
Yeah,
you.
no, I'm totally for it.
Okay, so we went to the pick and pull yesterday because we're trying to get a fuel pump to fix Aaron's car so we can sell it. And so we get there and they give us a little slip telling us where the cars that have the fuel pumps we need are. And so the first car is a 2003 Chevy Cavalier like his. And we get to it, and the first thing you have to do is, I found out the first thing we have to do is actually unhinge all of the wires and cords and everything before we even do that. But anyways,
Well, we started
unhinging the
fuel,
gas tank, and so Aaron,
Okay, I take lead and I just get under it and I'm like turning it as hard as I can. I'm getting Daniel's help. I'm like tearing up my hands.
He
Oh.
even broke one of my little bits
Oh,
from
man.
my
Toolbox.
toolbox set,
Trying
trying to get it off, but it just
We're
wouldn't
not
come
gonna
off.
do it. It's rusted over. It's not
It's not
possible.
gonna happen. So we get out from under it. We go to this Pontiac Grand Prix that's supposed to have it, and Aaron gets underneath it, and he
Same
starts doing it.
problem.
Same
Oh,
problem.
man.
But this one doesn't look as rusted, so we have no idea what's going on.
And-
So
And then it occurs to me wait, is this righty tighty or is this
No.
loosey?
Oh my gosh, no.
so of course this entire time Aaron's trying to tighten it
Oh
to get
my
it
gosh.
to get off, and it's just not happening. So we're like, oh, Aaron's like, oh, okay. So fine. Finally he starts turning it the other way.
And things were looking up.
Yeah. We managed to get the screws off of the Pontiac, and we managed to wrestle the gas tank off.
Wrestle is the key word.
Yeah. And we're trying to get to the point where we can detach the fuel lines and the electrical cords and kind of get the fuel injector or the fuel pump out. And Aaron's messing with
Well,
I don't remember what he was doing.
Okay, so we weren't. I wasn't really able to get the cords out from one side, and I was like, well, we need what's inside the gas tank, then kind of top on it, and so I could see that it could only be twisted off because it looked like a twist thing.
Yeah.
So Daniel tries it, and I'm like, no, that's not gonna do it. So I'm like twisting it, and then also I break.
He breaks
You broke
this
it.
plastic
Dang it.
piece
Oh,
next to the
dang it.
fuel line, making that fuel pump completely
Useless.
unusable. And so we're like,
Well,
okay.
not useless.
it's
Just
Less
unusable.
useful.
So we're like,
Yes.
okay, let's head back to the Chevy Cavalier and everything like that. Now
Yeah,
that we
the
know
difference.
the difference,
Hey,
in
you're upside down. It's so disorienting.
it's like, what's going on here? Oh my gosh! What way's up?
I was
What
like,
way's up?
I might as well be in
I
space,
know.
reenacting gravity.
And so, I mean, that's the main funny part. We went back and we couldn't get it down, but then we ran out of time, so we're gonna go back and try to
I'm not,
finish that
I'm
on
not
Monday.
a car person.
The moral of the story:
We're doing this because it's a cheap way to fix Aaron's car so that we can.
we're
sell
going
it
to be
more.
car people, or
Yeah,
you guys will.
Yeah, we will be after this. But it was just so funny because I just remember Aaron, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, I've been trying to get the wrong."
At first, I felt like, wait, should I just hide it? And I was like, nah, it needs to be said.
this
Just in
this
case.
must be vocalized.
And so it was a funny experience, but
I wonder what they thought because we took like those jack stands in there just
Yeah.
in case. I bet they were like, "You guys
Yeah.
never knew."
we had no idea. This is our first time at Pick and Pull. I had no idea what to expect, and so we brought a jack, we brought jack stands and all the tools we
Man.
needed, and then we get in there and they're all on like blocks and
So you didn't need any of that crap.
tire rims, and we didn't need anything at all. And so I'm like, well, great.
When are you guys going tomorrow? When are you guys going tomorrow?
I'm picking up Aaron at 11.
Aren't you busy?
Yeah, so
Not
I
the
thought-
whole day.
Well, too busy to post. Things on the internet.
I said I'm gonna post that tomorrow.
I'm just joking around. Yeah, you can come with us.
Yeah, just around 11. Stop by, pick me up.
Bring your dollar.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Oh, I thought you
don't
said
have-
bring your daughter. I was like,
Oh.
I don't have.
and then Alan's like, no, I don't have. I was like, what?
So,
Don't get it.
what do you guys think would be probably one of the most funnest things to do to your enemy that would cause absolutely no physical harm? Wouldn't really make their life super more difficult, and it's all in good fun, but it still would really piss off your enemies.
I would.
Funnest.
You did it again.
It's a word still.
No, funner. You said funner. You never
They're
said
both
anything.
words.
No.
No.
Anyways,
Daniel's mind is.
what
I-
could you think
I
of?
would get myself invited over to their house, and then I would excuse myself to go to the bathroom, and then I would take off the top of the toilet tank and pee in there. So whenever they flush, it would always be yellow. Because it's harmless, it's funny.
That's a good one.
like-
I know that. So the reason I ask is because this week,
Or I would like put blood in there, like fake blood, and then like they flush.
that's
Oh my god.
And I'd put like a dump, like a prop arm or something, like a severed hand.
freak him out.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I need to do that.
That is a good prank. I just
It's a good one if you
You're
can
assuming
get
your
to their
enemy
house.
and you're
Yeah,
in their house.
that's a hard one.
okay.
So
If I couldn't get into their house, then I would take their Sunday paper, like right when it comes out, and I would take a dump in it.
You're
Fold it
assuming people still get the paper.
There are people.
Yeah.
I would,
Yeah.
I would hate
You
Some
know who.
people who are stupid enough.
You know
to-
who. Well, I wasn't actually thinking about you, but yeah, we did.
Aaron was guilted into it. There was someone else who was just stupid about it.
I would pay for their subscription to the newspaper.
They're alone. That alone is enough.
Take a dump in it, fold it back up. They get inside, they open that thing up, and plop.
Ew.
I would take their email or phone number and send it to places that spam those things.
okay, so
But you'd have something.
yeah. So the reason I brought this up was because just this week there was a website that started in Australia that was really simple idea. So for $10, and this was worldwide,
Yeah.
or 10 Australian dollars, I should mention. So not even 10 American dollars.
Kangaroos.
So
I don't want that.
you could anywhere in the world send an envelope with a little message in it and a ton of glitter to anyone. So someone started that website this week. Not only was it so popular, they had like 200,000 orders within like the first few hours, but the guy who created it got so fed up with dealing with it that he's now trying to sell it, and people are looking to buy it for like hundreds of thousands of dollars because it's that popular. Just imagine that, they get a letter and they're like, "Oh, what's going on? Oh, let's pull this out, and all this glitter flies everywhere when they pull out the letter, and then they just have a letter right there and can say anything. And so, what if you were to say something like, "You know what you
just
did"?
have
Oh my
monkeys
gosh.
typing in a room.
No, I would send it to the president of Australia or whatever they have, prime minister or something, and I would just, in my letter, I would just say, "Where's the beef?"
So I guess the premise is that you can like put in whatever message you want. I think to cut on costs, the default message should be "You know why." You know why. You know.
Yeah.
You know what you did.
Bum, bum.
But I love how such a simple idea.
I
Is now
I
worth
love
millions,
it.
like
I
hundreds
love
of
it,
thousands of
but I
dollars.
hate it.
I know.
Because I didn't think of it. And I don't know why.
Yes.
I don't know where people get these ideas. I don't know.
I mean, it's an outlet for people's hate. So you gotta find
People are
something.
always gonna hate. Haters gonna hate.
Haters gonna hate. Players gonna play.
Wow.
Don't do that. don't even.
And I'm just gonna say.
Don't
So
perpetuate it.
who
Don't.
who wants to hear a treasure story?
I do.
Treasure story?
Treasure
Oh,
story.
treasure story.
So
Is it a story that you treasure?
according to a gentleman named Forrest Fenn, he spent his
Sweden?
He lives in America. He lives in, I think, like New Mexico or something like that. But he claims he's left a box of treasure, like gold and everything like that, somewhere. He's given people a map and a kind of poem. And if you can solve the poem, you can take the treasure and it's yours. And up until now, nobody's found it, but he says it's still out there. He's still alive and everything like that. And it's called the Forrest Fenn treasure. And so I hadn't heard about it before, but I looked it up. Apparently, it's like a legitimate thing, and
Can anyone
anyone can look for it.
get the map in the poem?
I have the
Wow.
map. I have a picture of the map in the poem. We could definitely start looking for it. He said it's like between $1 to $3 million worth of treasure.
Like how does
You
he
can
know?
also go to
'cause it's
Cambridge
like
Lake
gold
and look
stuff.
for the Montezuma treasure.
Yeah, but that's underwater. That's hard.
That would be cool to like do like a summer,
Yeah.
like a summer of treasure hunting.
They said it's somewhere in the Rockies, but not in Utah and Idaho. So it's in Arizona, Colorado, or Montana, and Wyoming.
That's what my uncle does, though. I mean, that's what he used to do. For a while, he would just treasure hunt. He worked for the national parks as like a cleanup guy in their camp areas, and he would have tons of days off or tons of free time. So he would just go off looking for gold. Like he knows how to pan for gold. He knows all the different tricks that like people used to use to hide gold on their property.
That is cool.
I've gone spelunking with him a couple times. It was fun.
Which one?
Carson. Yes, now he's a truck driver. He does not spelunk anymore.
Oh,
Oh.
It's a shame.
did he like get out of shape?
No.
No,
Oh, okay.
he has a heart condition. He has to stay in shape, like really good shape. But I think it's because he got a girlfriend that she wanted steady income.
Yes,
That
yes.
does not come from panning for gold.
Truck driving is still hard because depending on like who you're driving for, you might have to be like away for like weeks at a time while like while driving
Yeah.
far distances. Like
I think it's how their relationship works. In all honesty, he's gone for like weeks at a time and comes back. Hi, honey. And they spend a couple days together, and then he's gone again.
that would be tough.
they've
I would not be able to do that.
Yeah, but that's why you're not a truck driver.
So I've been wondering things like, I mean,
Wondering more things than normal.
yes, because there's definitely an answer to this, but like,
Is it the right answer?
well, it's just like, are some things discovered or are they invented? You know, like, did we really invent like language, or did we just discover languages?
But
Or
like,
just things like that, like things that are
well, think about
idealistic.
like
Did we
language. We couldn't discover it if it didn't exist before. You know, like the idea of language
specific languages were invented.
But are we talking? You're talking languages perhaps as you and I know it, but there's like different types of like language. We could say like how ants like communicate with each other is a type of like language.
Yeah, and that would be more of a discovered language because they can't change it. If there was only one language, then you could say yes, we discovered that language.
Well, even
but
though
how do you explain us starting out with grunts and everything to several different languages around the world? Did we just stumble? Did we just stumble upon? Why is it that we associate names to things rather than just be like, oh, we found out that that's what that's called? Did we find out that it was called a bear, or did we determine that it was called a bear because that's what we wanted to call it? If we wanted to call it a bear, it would have been invented. If it was a bear,
what if we freaking nailed it though? What if like there's something in this world that is actually what it's supposed to be, like bowls or
well, what's funny with that?
Bowl. This just feels right.
This is bull. But who's to say that the original words for bowls were correct? Why is bowl the correct word?
What if they were wrong in the past?
Door.
Door.
Yeah. I mean,
there's just one thing that like
even if
it's
we
somehow a cosmological constant that root beer is supposed to be called root beer.
But not everyone calls it root beer.
I know not everyone calls it root beer, but like that's what it's
supposed to be called. So, but even then, was it really discovered, or was it just a cosmic coincidence?
What if they're in like some like underground like cavern? There was like thousands and thousands of light bulbs, and we just like discovered them.
Yeah, but they were naturally formed light bulbs.
Well, maybe we thought they were naturally formed.
But that's what I'm saying. You can't.
They're wild light bulbs.
If you
growing
don't know,
cultivating
you can't
them.
determine it.
Yeah, so like.
But so
Edison
that's
is such
Did
a
we
hack.
discover dinosaurs?
we discovered
exactly.
them.
You think we discovered them, but did someone invent them?
There's a
And then
potential.
we
But
discovered
are
them.
you talking about whether things are
Either way, we discovered
no?
it.
Are you talking about whether things are invented altogether or whether we've invented them?
Well,
Because chances are everything
It's been
was invented
invented
by
by-
somebody somewhere. That's the question everybody asks. But we, as a human race,
Did you discover something
discovered
about
dinosaurs.
it ever being invented.
Yes.
We discovered air. We didn't invent it.
But like without anyone ever inventing it, can something be discovered that no one's ever invented?
What do you mean?
I don't know. I'm just saying things that like,
Okay,
are meant
so,
to be
Aaron,
thought-provoking.
Think about what you said. Can anyone discover something that's never been invented? Of course they can. That is the central idea of discovery. It wasn't invented. It was discovered.
We just said that everything has to be invented by someone.
Assuming there's
Down
a
the
God
line,
that
yes.
Well,
invents
no, I'm
it.
just saying like no one invented it. Can't be discovered.
But what
People
we're saying,
discover God, but nobody invented him.
no. What we're saying, what we're saying is, Aaron, what we're saying is, we discovered the dinosaurs, right?
Yes.
But there is a potential that somebody invented it. So yes, there could be nothing that we could discover that wasn't technically invented by someone, somewhere, at some time. But we don't know that. How would we ever know that? Unless someone comes down from some mystical realm and says, hey, dudes, I invented everything.
Would you trust
So,
them?
I don't know.
Especially
I
with
don't know.
that kind of vernacular?
I don't know.
No, dudes, come on.
I don't know if I would trust them, but
Everything around this?
I'm just saying. Somewhere along the line, something,
Copyright.
everything might have been invented.
People
But-
have this patent like list.
But we, as a human race, discover them. So if you're talking about invention versus discovery
from the beginning of the universe before the Big Bang, there's a lot of questions that we'll never know the answers to. But if you're talking about the human race, there are discoveries that have nothing to do with
Can
invention.
you then invent a baby now? Because like laboratories.
Technically, you're always inventing a baby.
So Thomas Edison's parents were really
Inventors. But now you're just grasping at straws.
Well, they didn't discover the baby. Like they didn't just
Oh my gosh!
What if those babies that are orphans, like on church doorsteps, do they?
They were invented
Whoa.
by somebody.
Look at this.
I discovered a baby.
And they got to name it even.
I shall call it
Fred.
Seriously though, like, if we suddenly gave it that amazing thing, I will call it Fred. Oh. Like, it's a baby!
It starts crying.
Fred. It's like, really? Like, you have this opportunity here. You just discovered something amazing, Fred.
Well, you would
See?
say,
That's what
I
you could name it.
discovered this mini human. You can't say baby because baby is what it is. If you discovered
Mini
it,
human.
That's what you
discovered
are.
if you discovered it, you have to give it a new name. If you're saying it's a baby, then obviously someone else has discovered/invented it.
What are your thoughts on this subject matter, Alan?
What is the subject?
Yeah,
Oh.
that's what happens when you leave the
Alan
room.
left the room. Levi's texting his lover.
I had to leave the
That's
room.
better.
That's why it's a 1/2 table.
I'm sorry that
conversation.
I had to leave the
Yeah.
room.
You should
I
be
just
known.
figured everyone always interrupts me.
You
I
shouldn't
wouldn't be
be known.
missing.
You should be
right.
known.
Sorry, not sorry.
Okay, well, it's your guys' turn.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's your guys' turn to bring up a
We're doing
subject.
turns now.
Fine. If we're gonna bring up a
Doing
subject, okay, this is a hypothetical situation.
Now we've already done the hypothetical
We don't just
That's
do
what
one.
Aaron's like, what?
I love hypotheticals.
I want this.
I'm
So
just trying to
I
throw them
always,
off.
I always answer them right.
okay.
You?
So say that you know without a doubt there's no reason that this wouldn't be true and everything, that in 2 hours you will spontaneously combust unless you're able to have sex with someone you have not had sex with before. How would you go about trying to get that? Like, how would you go
What?
about?
This isn't a problem
What
for
is
me.
Yeah, women
As a
don't.
female,
Women don't have
this
that.
is
Hey,
a problem
that's
for
not a
me.
guarantee. How would you go
In
about
2
it?
Go to a
hours?
bar.
In 2 hours? Yeah. She goes to a bar. She has
I just
to
go to
go
a
to
bar.
What does she do
What
now?
if
She goes to a bar.
What if it's a gay bar, Kylie? I mean,
Then
you
she
guys
goes
I'm
to
not
the-
going to a
then
gay
she goes to
bar.
another
So you-
bar.
Okay.
She would know location.
Okay, specifically, Alan, I'm going to a straight bar that has a single man in there who's been hitting on other women that have not given him the time of day.
There we go. There's Kylie's
To be very
strategy.
specific.
What's your strategy?
I'd be like-
that's a strategy.
You want to have some explosive sex?
Oh my gosh.
Did they say what? They're like, I'm about to.
Well, you wouldn't.
Because I was premature.
Premature
Oh.
combustion.
Oh my gosh. Premature combustulation.
Oh no, that's a good
I guess
question.
Aaron's
though.
dead. For a pun, Aaron's dead.
That's how I want to go out though.
You wanted to go out is a good pun, right?
And it has to be a female, right? Well,
Where is this going?
Aaron makes a good point. If you have 2 hours to live, you want to consider all your options.
Aaron's going to the gay bar.
Yeah.
Well, it's easier to
Find that guy
convince
who's
there.
around hitting a bunch of guys and
No,
striking
Alan,
out all night.
it's easier to convince on that side.
Think about
Well-
it. Guys want it more. You know, it's just a simple fact. If you can convince a guy to,
like, so we all have it at once, and we all got to go do it.
No, we're going with the situation that's just you.
Because I was like, me and Kylie,
Dan was
And I'm like, you'll burn to death, Aaron.
we're going with this, the fact that it's just you, but at some point each of us have had this happen to us, but it's all at random times.
It has to be someone you don't know. We're at
Don't
that
know where
situation.
So,
No,
so for
if
Aaron's
you
life,
can convince someone you
for
know.
Aaron's life, I can't. For Aaron's life,
Nah, he could burn.
There's one
Wow.
other stipulation.
Wow.
You cannot pay for sex. That's one big stipulation. You cannot pay for it.
Can I have them pay me?
Yes.
Get
Like
sex
buy-
in exchange for anything.
in exchange for anything?
Well, I guess in exchange for
Other than sex.
yeah, in exchange for anything other than like sexual favors.
That's the point.
Yeah,
That's how you do it.
Like you do.
That's. I don't have because I don't even have a game plan
Yeah.
with normal time.
Well, but
I'm
I
just-
mean,
it's
think
like-
about it.
I
This is
could
life and
Are you
death.
saying you
You
want me
can
to
do
go and
anything.
force someone?
No,
I
but
think
if that's your way.
No.
Aaron, I really think you're cute enough that if you went to a gay bar, it could happen.
The naked man.
Oh my
Invite
gosh.
yourself to a female's house. Just go all out. Go for broke. Go for burn.
I'd probably just have to do that. I would probably have to just lay it all out there all at once and be like, this offer's only going to be around for 2 hours.
After that,
Who knows what's going to happen?
I'd have Kylie help me. Sure.
Find you a woman?
Threesome?
No. Well, yeah.
that's basically what you did.
I was thinking find someone.
I could find you a man. I'm totally comfortable with
It
that.
has to be of your species.
Yes, it has to be. That is the
Dolphin.
stipulation.
What if this hypothetical was presented to a sheep farmer? You don't know.
Aaron's house.
I mean, I guess technically when I
What's your plan, Alan?
my plan, so you can't pay for it, but that doesn't mean you can't have a prostitute do things and then just ditch on the bill.
They take money in advance, Alan.
Yeah, it's up front.
The good
They
ones
pay
do.
up front.
You might not want to
Yeah,
live with what you'll
the other
take.
ones, yeah, you're probably better off than
No,
You might save a few people if you wait until the last minute
Yeah.
so that you take her with you.
Gross.
Ew.
Wow.
You don't have to be doing. If he's already doing stuff, then he's not gonna combust.
What if you got it, but you were on a time crunch, but she really wanted foreplay, and so you're like, I'm
What
trying to do it.
What are you
fast."
what are you doing? We're gonna have sex?
She's like,
Well,
what?
don't go right into it.
You gotta,
Light some candles, put on some music.
You
And
gotta
the music's
like-
like,
it's
I don't
gonna-
work.
The candles are going to be lit in a few minutes if we don't do this.
do you tell them? That's the thing.
What?
Do you think you
They
can
Here's
get
the
it?
question.
You-
I don't think.
yeah,
Yeah,
no
they
one's
think
gonna
you're
believe
crazy, and then they wouldn't want to have anything to do with you.
I would
Like,
just,
you schmooze talk, and then you say, "Okay, now we."
You
need
know
a
what
hurry
I would
because I'm
do?
gonna blow up."
I would go to a bar and I would just tell that to every girl there that if I don't have sex in 2 hours, I'm going to spontaneously
Nobody's
combust.
taking pity on you.
Yeah.
Well,
Nobody.
I'll
Unless-
ask every girl.
Unless
and-
you act drunk. Act like you're shit-faced and then approach them and be like, you're so pretty. I'm going to blow up. We should do something. And then they might take pity on you because you're drunk and you've said they're pretty.
You
Otherwise,
say, "I'm gonna."
Said they're
You
pretty.
say, "I'm gonna blow up," and they'll assume you're going to war or something, and so they'll have pity on you because of that.
well, I'm sure you could just flat out lie.
You're like,
you don't have to tell them
Let's
the truth.
blow this joint.
We're escaping, spontaneously combust. Do we do damage? Are we exploding, or are we just?
You
Let's
are
go with exploding.
You're like a jihad.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Why are we taking into consideration? Maybe we want to go and explode something.
Uh-oh.
Maybe I want to.
Yeah,
Never mind.
Daniel.
Never mind.
Daniel.
I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say. Maybe I want to blow
Yeah,
up
Alan.
this national monument on.
I'm gonna say this on record.
I know. That's why I was like, wait,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
no. Stop.
I realized too.
I would just
I
like
want to live. I want to live. I'm
climb
just saying. You know.
into the lips of a president on Mount Rushmore and blow up there, so his jaw would literally drop.
A jaw
Oh my
dropping.
god. Oh, that one simmered for a minute. I was like, wow.
At the top of the torch of the Statue of Liberty, so you can light it on fire. Just what?
You guys are making this hard.
Apparently,
This is
it
a
can't.
hypothetical.
So here's what I'm getting from these hypothetical situations. You guys are all convinced you can't get any from strangers. You're
Not in
accepting
two-
death.
Not
No.
in 2
and just
hours.
doing it.
My
Not
whole
2
life.
hours.
is
So,
led me
my-
to believe
So
that
here's the
this
thing,
is
though. What 2 hours is this? Like, if this is at noon,
Oh yeah, that's
imagine
true.
this were
Yeah.
at noon.
Yeah,
like,
I'm thinking
this
it's
It's
like
not
any
happening.
time of
Yeah.
day I want it to be.
This strategy has to be valid no matter what time of day it is. So, like, I'm not saying it's going to be a guarantee, but is there a strategy you can think
That's
of?
when you whip out like porno things. Like you turn into a FedEx delivery. And you're like, I've got a package.
Yeah. Show up with the pizza box and little hole cut out.
Oh, you got a few parking tickets? Well, there might be a way I can get you off.
Wow.
Classic Barney.
Wow. Yeah, no, I just don't know what the best strategy would be. I would just be brutally honest. I'd like get I would get the waterworks, get really freaked out, and
I
just
think
like
I would
realize.
spend the next 2 hours planning the most epic, spontaneous combustion death I could think of. I'm gonna start thinking of it now, just in case it happens.
It's not happening.
Like, that's like the movie for like, what is it? That one with Jason Statham, I think, that like he has to like.
Oh yeah, Crank. Yeah.
That's pretty much that idea.
Did you literally almost just say Crank as in what he had to do, or did you remember
No.
that's the name of the movie?
No, you guys said crank.
Okay.
I was like, crank.
Just
I was
okay.
still doing the
Because I was like, he had to crank himself.
What was that movie? I mean, there's something about that in it.
Anyways, yeah, he had to do that. I can't believe they made 3 of those.
What?
Yeah,
3 cranks?
right? I thought they did.
No, it was
Or maybe
3
there's 2.
transporters.
Well, there's 2 cranks though. I can't believe they made 2 of them. Still,
Can't even
Jason
believe they made
Statham's got
one.
a lot.
I can't believe it's not butter.
I can't believe. Wow, I don't have any.
You just you
Please
just
believe
It
advertised.
literally just dropped everything that we were doing. It was like, oh, this is a fun, and then stopped.
So, do you guys remember that my story about the time I used my lockpick at work to
Yes.
do the lock? Well, the other day they needed another lock done. I managed to do that.
Oh my
too.
word, dude!
It's
No.
funny.
Not even on simple locks have I ever like actually been able
Well,
to.
and then
He has a legit set.
I've been practicing at home, and I've done it a couple times at home too now.
Apparently, our front door is like super easy
Yeah.
to get into.
Oh,
It
that's-
does not make me feel
I'm
safe.
actually worried
Yeah, that's
now.
not-
I got into it really quick. Like, I have a circular lock. I have a
Yeah.
circular lock that I was practicing on. It usually takes me like 5 to 10 minutes when I do get it, if I manage to get it open. But I went to our door, I opened it, and like 2 seconds, click, I locked the door, and I was like, damn, that was fast.
What a whore.
But I just think it's funny. Of all the places you think you could develop your lockpicking skills, your job is never one of those that you legitimately think it happens.
Can you imagine if they still like cut your hand off for like having a lockpick set?
Right.
I
Ugh.
really should get a lockpick set.
I just want one of those guns where you can just like put it.
Kind of just put it in,
That's
It doesn't work at
That's
all.
the
It's the lazy way.
hands.
but it's pretty
It's probably
effective.
more noisy too.
Yeah.
I think it breaks the lock as well, or it can at
I'm
least
sure
damage
it
it.
does. Yeah.
It just
No,
like
it just-
if I
You
Well, yeah,
put torque, and then it just pops them up until they've all popped up, and you can turn it. It's the same idea behind a regular
that the
lock
key is
pick.
doing, but normally the key isn't really
No,
just.
no, it's that's how you do a lock pick.
Oh,
You
yeah.
add torque,
Yeah, you're right.
you push up on the little things until you push them up, and it leaves the second piece above, and then you can turn it. And so that thing does the same thing. It just you don't have to do the physical up and down yourself. It's interesting. It's a lot more. It's a lot more complicated than I thought it would be. Like I always knew it was going to be complicated. Yeah, but there's like an extra level that they just
It's like
don't.
Especially when the
Just
locks are
how
like
you-
trap springed, like the olden days. And
Ah!
you can kill yourself.
Yeah, but it was cool. I'm getting better at it. I like it.
what if there's keys that were like you had to
Movement.
it had to like there was
Movement.
movement like
There
like
was
a
movement.
combination key like you put it in and it would like do like it would poke things
That would be cool.
like
They have those. They're called keypads. You put in a combination.
Finger instead of a key.
retro guys. It's all about bringing something retro into the future.
Right. Okay. If I said this, I'm gonna say a statement. I want you guys to tell me if this kind of sounds a little off to you. Okay. Camera is under 24-hour surveillance.
Yeah. Who's watching this camera? What's it gonna do?
Exactly. Okay. I was just worried that other people. There's a sign that says that outside the Score Utah place where I park. It says camera is under 24-hour surveillance. I'm like, what did the camera do?
There's like one camera
Camera
sitting
sitting
there,
there
and the other
watching
camera-
I'm like, why should I be worried about the camera too? Is it doing something? But then I was like,
It's gonna do
well,
that.
I guess it could mean like people are surveilling the videos of the camera. But then wouldn't it say like videos?
Area under 24
Yeah, or
hours.
what if
surveillance.
it's like
Or
24 hour
camera
surveillance?
taking
What if it say,
screenshots?
like, here's a camera, it's 24-hour surveillance.
But,
But it literally says camera is under 24 hours.
Oh, it says camera
is
is
Yeah.
under.
This is what happens when you allow people to say funner, and
what if
then it divulges
What
to
if
all of a sudden-
idiots that are
what
posting
if it's
things.
just saying camera?
I
is
think that's a
under,
giant
comma,
jump
24
there.
hours to
However,
I think
No.
you're
Under
really
the
pushing it on
sky.
that one.
Yeah.
and it's under.
I see that more as like cameras under the weather. Like cameras
Yeah.
under 24-hour surveillance.
It's like house arrest.
I just thought
Grounded.
it was funny. You know, I was like,
Maybe they were having a problem with people like damaging that specific.
or I thought
taking
people were
the
stealing
camera.
the camera, so now they have a camera on the camera, or the camera's on the parking lot and everything.
It's a high-end camera.
I didn't see.
Oh, I
the
know where
camera,
we're
so I don't-
getting the camera now.
Yeah, I'm just joking. Well, no, it's under 24-hour surveillance. We don't want to mess with that. Ah,
Like,
what?
make a show about camera under
Just go.
yeah.
Wow.
What's it gonna do
It's
next?
stopped. It's stopped.
This is my favorite
Oh,
part.
it's going again. It's going again.
It's like the pool cleaner on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Too.
Love those scenes.
That every time the pool cleaner was cleaning in the pool, we're like,
Yeah!
pool cleaner.
It was the only way to make that
That movie
like
was
night.
freaky.
No, it wasn't too freaky, but each time it panned all the rooms at night, it just felt like it took forever.
Well, it's supposed to be like quote unquote real time. That's how real time is. It's boring. It's long.
Yeah,
It's real time.
but I just want to see the cool stuff.
There wasn't anything cool on that.
Well, one, the acting was bad.
Yeah.
Especially on the first one, on the part of the specialist who comes in, and he's much like, no, I can't be here. No, this is like wrong. This is wrong. I have to leave. And they're just like, no, you gotta stay. And then he just leaves. So
So bad.
so we know what not to do during our movies.
I
Well,
hated it because of how she like said his name. The whole time I'm sitting there like, because we had the captions on, because we were watching it at night and we were trying to be quiet. But with the captioning on, I'm sitting there like, his name's Micah. Micah. Say it with me. Micah. And then like whenever she's freaked out, she's like, Mika! I'm like, Micah. Micah.
I don't even remember the names, but what did it think? Did Eurotrip have this problem?
That was Mika. Mika. Yep.
Michelle.
Yeah. That is exactly what it is, isn't it? Yeah.
I don't know why you guys
Anyways,
look at me.
awkward.
Packers lost today.
As you give me a rock on sign.
Oh,
Packers lost. Thanks a lot, Aaron. At least it was in overtime.
What about the Patriots? How are they doing now?
Oh, I don't care.
You should have.
I'm
I
done
don't
for
want
the
them to
season.
win. Don't want them to win.
You should have helped your team out a little bit more.
I did. I wore my hoodie today to show,
Your hoodie's the
support.
reason they lost down.
Shut up.
You know it's true.
No, it's not.
It totally is.
Call that
It's a Green Bay Packer hoodie. Aaron. It says their name right here.
Again with
Ah,
poison.
dang it. What? The Patriots slaughtered the Colts.
What a bummer.
Well,
Hey, you want to know
Well,
something
Seahawks.
weird?
No? Yes? Maybe?
Why?
Why is it weird?
You'll see. You'll hear. Why don't we turn our socks inside out when we wash them?
Do you turn everything else inside out when you wash them?
Hey, why don't we turn our shirts in? Well, I guess the shirts are more exposed. When it comes to things that are getting
Because
the most dirty,
Porous, so it goes through all of it anyway. It's good. Yeah.
Well, but the idea is your feet are supposed to be clean. You're walking on dirty stuff with your socks. Why would you clean the
No,
inside?
cleaning.
but
The point of wearing socks is because it absorbs the sweat that your feet produce to keep them from going in your shoes to stinking up your shoes.
But listen to this. I always hate, like, I have no problem, like, if I, like, put on my sock reversed and, like, been walking around with it and, like, I put it back on, like, I have to reverse it because I'm like, oh, it's reversed, I'll put it back on. I have a problem with that, actually. That's what I meant to say. Because, like, I don't want to be putting, because I've been using it all day, like, walking on the floor, I want to, like, turn it and, like,
Put all the dirt on
Pull
the
it,
inside.
yeah.
You just get a new
Yeah.
sock. That's the way I see. I understand the sweat thing,
that's
but at
where
the
my
s-
thought was.
Yeah, but at the same time, Alan's porous thing makes
Well,
sense.
Yeah,
but
with how it
the more
absorbs.
of
Because,
the
like,
dirt
it's
is
just
on top.
interlocked.
If you
But
have
if you-
plastic socks,
If you're
you'll
using
turn
the
them
socks the
Yeah.
exact way where you're not walking on the socks and it's just in the shoe all the time, though, technically it's the inside of the sock that's really getting the most.
Yeah. But look at
Yeah,
that.
but if
That's
But
how
look
it
at that.
works. It's just
The
like
interweaving, yeah.
holes
Yeah.
where
I don't think it
water
matters.
can pass through and dirt can come out. And just freeze that.
have you seen those commercials with the weaving? Like, water
They're
goes
like
through with the bubbles.
microscopic.
and all the dirt kind of bubbles out.
That's all. Did you make any resolutions this year?
No, I've resolved to make WerePanda Productions the greatest company in the world.
Woohoo!
But
How's
seriously.
that going?
Very well, thank you.
I didn't
Is
make
it
any
gonna be great?
resolutions.
You did?
Well,
What
it's,
were your
it's
resolutions?
because
Wow.
in the past I made resolutions and then I didn't follow through. This year I didn't make any resolutions and I'm losing weight and I'm learning Spanish and I remember to brush my teeth more often. So these are things that I
You're
like
gonna
doing.
fail on all of them.
without
Hey,
resolution.
Hey, Aaron, I made a resolution to be less critical of people, but you really need to shut up.
Oh, here, sorry, let me
You're
rephrase that.
stupid. You're being super critical, Aaron. What were your resolutions?
To become the greatest programmer on the earth. No, just joking.
Boo.
It was to. It was to.
Oh.
Oh.
So the Mr.
Mr.
Resolution
looking
down
on us for not having
I
I did make a resolution.
Because
Watch more anime.
I wanted you guys to have resolutions so that it would inspire me.
I
So,
resolved to
oh.
get all of my Final Fantasy 14 classes to level 50. I resolved to punch you in the face one time this year to
Hell.
pay back for all the times you punched me in the face accidentally.
Then I resolved to become a karate master.
There you go.
One resolution I was gonna have was to look better than you, Aaron, but I figured it'd be unfair because that's already happened, and it'd be just, you know.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
So I was just like, I won't rub it in his face.
That's the problem, though. My face.
Yes, if there's any one thing that's the problem, it's the face.
So I've been watching more anime, like I said, and I started watching Fairy Tail, I guess yesterday. What?
Whoa.
Sucks.
What?
I don't like it.
Give me your reasons. If that
Lucy's an idiot.
Oh.
okay,
She's
what
a
other?
Yeah.
huge
What
Yeah.
is that the
Idiot.
only reason
She's
though?
better. She gets
Is that
better.
the only reason though?
Yes, I
Okay.
watched 5
I'm further
episodes.
along.
She's a huge idiot. She's
See-
perpetuating the blonde bimbo stereotype.
See, and the thing is, it's like I don't watch it
You
for
guys are
Lucy.
watching
I like
the anime.
Natsu. I like Natsu a lot.
Natsu.
Yeah.
The manga's
so-
better.
Anyways, besides the point, so I started watching it, and it's like a lot different than I thought it was because,
What you think it was?
well, so all I ever knew about was the keys, because that's the only thing I had ever known about. So I thought it was the show where they're trying to locate all the keys, and if they don't locate the keys, the world is gonna something's gonna happen, and that's each of them have some of the keys, and they fight each other with the different keys. Oh boy, was I wrong! It was
Yeah.
like there's
that's
like
nothing,
nothing
to do
to
with
do
it.
with
It
it.
gets crazy.
Yeah, so it's been pretty crazy. I've been enjoying it, but yeah, I was like,
I the last chapter I read, which is further than all of you guys. Nice. Oh my god.
I only watch it for Happy.
Happy is awesome. I love Happy. Happy's hilarious.
I like Gray. And
Gray is-
what's her face's armor? I like
Urza?
all of Urza's
Oh, I love
armor.
Urza.
I just can't get past Lucy.
Yeah, I mean-
and Natsu bugs me a little too. I just don't like it.
I don't mind Natsu because like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
the thing about Natsu that I enjoy,
Is how he's like
my
Naruto.
phone started listening when I just said Natsu or something. It's like
Nice.
it brought up the. Anyways,
Natsu.
the thing I like about Natsu is like he is like that pig-headed type person. But
I think that's why I don't like
but
it. I already have Naruto.
there's a lot. There have been, at least in the episodes I've seen, many times where he's like he shows that he actually is intelligent and like he's not always pig-headed. So like instead of just like continuously
Like
like being
Naruto.
super. Well, Naruto, it took a while for that to happen.
He was always
He was
forward and pig-headed because he had been discriminated.
It
so
doesn't
much.
matter
so much.
why. I'm not saying
See,
it matters why.
This is
It
what I
just
think.
it took
It's like
forever.
when they're not in battle, they're dumb. But like as soon as like they're in battle, they become geniuses where they can like see through like their opponent's like weaknesses and like like their weaknesses or what's happening. They can discern how they can like affect it. Because in the newest like Naruto, where like he realizes that the sage, his like sage jutsu can like affect Obito and his like.
But
Jinchuriki.
it wasn't just him. People,
I know
He
everyone
was
else saw it, but
informed.
he saw it too.
yeah, but that was because they were.
And he's the one that serendipitously discovered it or invented it.
This is what I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
I don't know. I think people don't give Naruto enough credit. You know.
So now in Shippuden, I definitely I don't know how to pronounce it.
Shippeton.
Whatever it is.
Ship of Odin.
So in the when he's older, he definitely has that aspect to him where he is intelligent. But like the whole beginning of Naruto,
Yeah,
like
but
for
think
the
about how
longest
old
time,
he was.
I don't care though. That's
How-
the thing.
How
Like,
smart were you at that age,
I'm not
Who
not
do you
saying
think
that
would
it's
win?
not justified. That's not my thing. I'm just saying like it's nice to see this only a few episodes in.
A Genin ninja or a Pokemon trainer.
Well, what Pokemon do they have?
Well, they would have to be like a starting sort of like
How many badges do they have?
2 maybe.
Then the ninja. I'm thinking.
2 maybe.
I'm thinking
4 or 5.
Pokemon League beaten Pokemon Trainer.
Well, then
That would be
I
like-
would say Naruto. In his-
Shippuden?
Yeah, but that's
Kurama
We're gonna kill you all.
but that's where you gotta draw the line though, because I still think that's different levels.
So what level do you think's on par with like Elite Four?
Elite Four beaten Pokemon Trainer, probably like Kakashi level. I anything Naruto with Tailed Fox, Sasuke with and Susanoo. Those are just like Arceus level, like Pokemon God level. They're just like a little too.
Do you think you can have like a good show or anime without constantly progressing the cap, like the power cap?
I don't think I've ever seen an action anime that doesn't do that.
Well, it's because they progress as characters, they become
Wait,
stronger,
no,
so it,
That's not true. That's not true.
Oh, he apologizes when he interrupts her, but for Alan,
What?
what?
Think about Full Metal Alchemist. They learn alchemy and they kind of get better at it, but they never technically become stronger.
I would
by
count
any
that though
means.
more as a drama than an action.
But it's still that fighting.
Kill
thing,
was
still.
like always like
Or
the big
Gurren
hit.
Lagann.
Oh my gosh, Gurren Lagann. Excellent.
Gurren Lagann is probably like the quintessential.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
you're right.
yeah,
Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, that's the big one. Let's think. Pokemon. Ash never gets
Well, but
stronger.
no,
He
Dave.
becomes worse. Gosh,
Well, there's
This
gotta
Pikachu
be.
gets owned by a
yeah, a
Sputtery.
Snivy, and a Bunnelby. I mean, come on, Ash. This Pikachu should be level 100 by now. These level 30
Feed him some
Pokemon.
rare candies and get on with it.
No. Biggest pet peeve. I'm not even joking. 17 seasons of Pokemon now. Okay, and if you take the fact that only one episode is one day, okay, just take that that's about 50 episodes a season. So there's about 700. There's about 750 episodes right now. You take that each episode is only one day, which we know is not true because there are some episodes that have been multiple days. He's been training for over 2 years. Okay, at least. And he's still losing to these trainers who have just started their journey. Bull
I think it's
crap.
I think it's time to realize, Daniel, that Ash is probably not that great of a Pokemon
He
trainer.
shouldn't be.
He's not my role
I
model,
think
but
Gary did a better
it's
job.
just now he's a Pokemon professor.
Hey, people move up in the world.
That's a unilateral move. That's not an up in the world kind of thing. You can choose to be a Pokemon professor. You don't have to go to school or get a degree. You just have to start studying Pokemon. Now, the Pokemon world is a lot different than this world.
Yeah, but I'm still sure that if he's been training for 2 years, that he should be able to beat a ton of people. Okay,
He should.
so then if he's not, that leads me to assume that he's not that
No.
great.
Here's what it is. The writers suck.
Do you
Wow.
think the
Bum,
writers
bum,
just ended up
bum.
deciding like one day to like make Pikachu evolve into a Raichu? That they would like lose their fan base?
Yeah, definitely.
They
well,
would.
they lose all our merch.
But here's something. I don't
But now they
understand.
have opportunities for more.
I
Raichu
don't
guys.
understand why the journey can't continue and Ash can't still win a lead. Fine. I understand maybe during the journey when he's just catching new Pokemon and training new Pokemon, how maybe
That's
every
the
once
man a little
maybe
bit.
every once in a while he'll lose because these Pokemon are brand new Pokemon he's caught and everything like that. But every time he goes to the tournament, he uses Pokemon from all of his other journeys. All of these Pokemon should be like really good fighters by now, especially Charizard. I don't know why Charizard's not wiping the floor with every other Pokemon. He's training in the Charific Valley, you know? But every time.
What did you
he
just
loses-
say?
Charific. It's terrific.
Anyone who doesn't know Pokemon, that would have been like the weirdest conversation. That would have sounded like gibberish.
It's just super annoying, you know, because this last tournament he was in, he lost to this random character. You had never seen him before in the show, haven't seen him since, but he has a Darkrai, and he literally gets to the semifinals only using Darkrai. He didn't send out any other Pokemon. It's some out of the blue crazy person, okay? And then Ash fights him, and Ash manages to defeat Darkrai, and then he sends out Latios, and he manages to defeat Latios as well, but it's a double knockout with his last Pokemon. So Ash defeats 2 of his 6 Pokemon, while the guy knocks out 6 of his, and I'm like, where the fuck did this guy come from? They've never mentioned him before. You've never seen him before. All of a sudden, he has these legendaries you've never seen in the
I want to
show.
watch this guy's
Yeah,
story.
exactly. How did the guy get this Pokemon?
Screw
Where did
Ash.
they come from? And then it's one thing if they introduced him in, and then told his backstory and everything like that. No, after the tournament's
it.
over, he's gone. You never see him again. I have
What
no
a badass. That's how I want to
I have no idea where he came from or where he went, but that's what I want to know from the show.
Well, so Ash is like the person who plays the games the normal way, doesn't do anything. And apparently this guy with Darkrai and Latios is the guy with like the cheat codes and everything.
Because that's what it sounds like to me.
It
Like,
drove me nuts.
well,
Drove?
you know what?
Sounds like a drive.
It's driving me nuts.
So
It's funny because Ash has probably seen like countless legendaries, and he's never caught one. And
That's because that's the whole point. They're legendary. There's only so many of them.
But
He always befriends them.
Yeah,
I don't
with
know
his
why-
track
I don't
record,
know
he
why
should-
Latios didn't go with him. You know,
there's
The
that.
writers didn't think of it.
like
They
he's
didn't
seen
think
pretty
of it.
much every single legendary.
he's pretty much seen every single Pokemon.
Do you think Pokemon have STDs?
What about Pokerus?
Okay, ditto. Like,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
bringing that
Did we
up.
already bring it up?
What about Mr. Mime?
No.
Do you think that's how they contracted it? Like in that world? Because they say like in this world it was from a monkey. Could have been from like a Mr. Mime.
We're not having
man.
this conversation.
Yeah.
Well, he has thumbs.
Let's not.
Yeah.
He has disposable thumbs.
Pretty attractive.
Hey, Aaron, here's my argument to that. Raccoons have thumbs too. Does that
What are they?
raccoons?
What are they shipping?
Okay. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Gonna kick you.
He doesn't. He says he's not a raccoon, but come on. Come on.
He's not.
Come on.
I don't
Yeah.
even know what that argument. Like,
What do you mean you don't know what that?
no,
Come
I'm
on.
saying like,
Like, I don't know
I'm
why-
saying
I
a
don't know
raccoon.
why Aaron brought it up either. I would say raccoons have opposable thumbs.
Yeah.
I said-
So like,
So are you
but
saying,
are you saying that
they're slaves?
they're slaves? They would be slaves
I
too.
never said Mr. Mime was a slave.
You're saying, yeah, you
I was
did.
saying
He just
no, I was
deserves.
saying he was the like exception because he got to live in a house. Because you were saying they were slaves, and I was saying no. He got free reign in his house. Being
No, I thought we brought up Mr. Mime because he looked like a human. We were talking about animal-like Pokemon and how it was more like a pet. And you're like, what about Mr. Mime?
He's not a pet.
Yeah, but he's still a Pokemon that's
Yeah.
quote-unquote being enslaved.
And I think
Why? So why is he not a pet?
because he has
And that's what I'm saying. Raccoons do too. So does that make them not a pet
We don't have raccoons as pets.
they don't have
for people who have raccoons?
I bet there are some
Oh, yeah.
randoms.
Tons-
in
tons of
Pokemon.
people
We're
actually.
talking about in the Pokemon.
Yeah,
Because this only
yes,
applies to the
the
Pokemon.
Pokemon that's a raccoon Pokemon.
Is there?
There's
that's
a raccoon Pokemon.
Yeah.
What's the deal?
A beaver.
Why would you bring up that ball of uselessness?
It's like, what is that? Next, you'll be like, what's? Next, you'll be like mentioning Starly or
But he's not a biped. That's the problem.
Raccoons are.
They can, but they're not
They're not
bipeds.
bipedal by nature. Cats can walk on their back legs.
Dogs can walk on their
They're so cute.
I can walk on all fours. That doesn't make me a quadruped.
And you're so cute when you do that.
The ladies, this.
That's your strategy. 2 hours, start walking on all fours.
Do I need to get on my hands and knees?
Oh my goodness.
That'll help.
What if that was
Yeah.
your strategy?
Yeah.
You just go to women and start proposing to them, like to find like.
Okay,
The
but
one
then after
that's
that
like-
you're alive. and then you have to
Well,
deal with that.
you seal the deal.
You
but
just say,
then-
I love you. I love you. I love you.
Pull
You're
the
like,
head
and then
mostly.
be like,
No,
No,
I
just
need some
what
space.
what
It's
you
not
would
going
need to do
too
is
fast.
find if there's ever a girl who's like super crazy into you, just text her. Just go like, I've
Always
always
have a girl
wanted
on the
you,
book.
and I
Yeah,
need to
that's-
see
that's
you
the
now.
problem is like,
I don't have a girl that was like except for Kylie.
She was on
I
the
don't
book.
know if she's that super crazy about me.
Finally married you.
Yeah, that's why
Huh.
you need to get one, Daniel.
She
Everyone
probably
needs
hates
to.
you.
I mean, she did agree to marry you.
it was a political move.
Whoa.
We all know she married you.
I'm just saying. If
You
I'm
did
just
marry
saying,
up, Daniel.
if we're talking about super crazy girls, I already have it, but I can't use
Yes.
Kylie to save me from the combustion thing. Ask me someone I haven't done it with. Remember?
Yeah, but the way you word
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
just came
Daniel.
across as I'm a super crazy
For
girl.
me. Only for me.
He's super
That doesn't
crazy
seem to
for
soften
Yeah,
the
I'm
blow.
super crazy for you. I'm not saying.
Dig a hole.
just keep digging,
Or you could take it at face value
Yep,
and
which
love
we
it.
did. Didn't love it.
You guys don't have to.
Face
I'm not
value
crazy
means
about you
everything.
guys.
We all have different faces, Daniel.
Some value face like
Some,
our faces more than others.
yeah, some are worth more, some are worth less. Yours is definitely worth less.
Gosh, man, how does it feel?
Wow. I
It's
get
just-
interrupted. I get
That
people
makes your
making
face
fun of
pretty
me.
worthless then too.
yeah. It's the
Wow.
sword.
How am I still friends with you guys?
Well, you're
Hey.
limited to two
Yeah.
of them.
Hey.
One
that's
of them
true.
by marriage.
Out of
Three
all of
them
us,
by marriage.
okay,
I knew you 9 months before
If
anybody
you-
else.
if I had to team up with any person around the table, like
In order
to be a partner in order to like compete against other people, but like in the competition, you can betray people. You don't have to. Like you can betray your teammates. Who would you choose?
What are we competing for?
Yeah.
And how are we, like, what kind of competition?
And are we
talking
competing
about?
against everyone else we didn't choose?
So you're competing against
Probably.
we compete against the people you didn't choose,
Well, so they're obviously going to be paired together.
That's not
but
necessarily true.
it depends. Like
Well,
so, the
yeah.
competition.
Daniel's look of woundedness.
competition
One of
would
you is
be-
going to feel sad if you don't be together.
I thought you and I were a good team.
Well, I'm just saying, if it's like, so if it's, I have to pick one of you in a sporting event for like Azure's life, I'm going to pick the more athletic choice.
I can
Because it's
keep up with
important.
Aaron.
So
Just
competition
Daniel,
It
is
just
going
just
depends
know when
on
you're
what we're
defeated.
doing and what we're doing it
it's,
for.
it's going to be like an amazing race type thing, but like
See, but my
Me and
wits.
Sosa.
My wits.
I'm horrible with direction.
Yeah.
I
But
would be.
You and
Levi.
I always,
You
I
and Levi.
always,
Hey guys,
I always
I'm
have to
available.
find a way to get things done. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But anyways, it would be like an amazing race type deal. But like, if you met up with other people, you could just like, you could be like, I want to dump this person, and if someone on the other team wanted to like dump the person they were with, they could too.
So couldn't we just like all convene with each other and like say, hey, let's all cross the
No.
finish line
No,
together?
you can't do that.
Why are we competing against each other?
Because only one can win.
With what?
It's like Highlander, Daniel. There can only be
The
one.
competition.
But what are we winning? Like, what's the prize? Why are we?
Okay.
Why are we
You get
competing?
to
Well,
Hunger Games
but
now?
that's
live.
but that's the thing. I'm not gonna compete in
You
something
have to.
where all of you guys. Fine, I'm just gonna sit at the front. I'll die. You
Fine.
guys can go to the end.
We're playing for only something that benefits the winners, and everyone wants it.
Yeah, but why can't it benefit all of us if one of us?
It can't, Daniel. That's the situation.
See,
here.
but you guys aren't giving me a reason to compete against you guys. I've
Because
learned.
If you win, you're going to. It'll make your life the best life ever to have existed. in
If
this
you
planet.
win, Daniel,
Yeah,
WerePanda Productions becomes.
WerePanda Podcast. I'm sorry, Alan.
I'm leaving.
No. Stay.
WPP becomes something.
Okay, but why isn't that for the same thing? Like, what are you guys getting instead?
Whatever we want out of it.
I know, but like, so let's say
We all have
WerePanda-
dreams,
no, I
Daniel.
know, but where Panda Production succeeds, that benefits all of us. Why are we letting me win?
But
Maybe
what
my
if-
dream's a little bit more extravagant.
Let's
Okay,
say.
well, what is your
Yes.
dream? Okay, what is your dream? Like, why can't one of us have the one dream that's going to benefit?
Let's say we've reached a situation
Becoming
where
Super
we
Saiyan.
can't all have the same dream. Say like, let's say for instance, in this
We're getting
world.
held up on some
No,
specifics.
I know.
here.
want-
just
let's
want
say
you to
this-
choose.
let's
what
say
it
in
is.
this world- Hey, guys,
well, I
guys.
don't want to compete against you
Let's say in
guys.
this world, Elizabeth passed away because like someone killed her or she got in a car accident, and so my
Did Elizabeth know you're planning her on your death?
what? No, so if I win, she comes back to life,
He wants that.
and that's what I want. Like
Okay.
WerePanda Productions.
Now,
is
who's-
good, but
whose
that would be
dream-
my best.
Whose dream is more important than bringing back Alan's dead fiance that he loves?
Immortal Super Saiyan.
Really, Aaron? Really? That's more important than Alan's fiance back to life?
I'm just
I
saying.
could probably-
You can't
That's
tell
a-
me. You
that's
can't
an
tell me that
example.
all five
Super
of us.
Saiyans have no cap, so eventually I might gain enough power.
Yeah,
that I
but
can, like,
You can't.
form like some special.
You can't tell me that there's 5 things that are equally as beneficial that
To only
to
that.
only that one person that causes you to compete against everyone else. You know, I would compete against people I don't know, but I wouldn't compete against you guys.
There's
because
people we don't know in the competition as well.
I know.
And
Okay,
if
how
we
about
don't
this?
win,
How about this?
Yeah,
Say,
but why
okay, guys.
Why
here's-
aren't we
I got
choosing
it. I got it.
one
I
of
got it.
us to win?
well,
Here's
then
how it is.
What would
I
be
got
the
it.
best group to win?
No,
That's
I got it. Here's
Who
the
would
way
you
to explain
choose?
it, guys. Here's the way to explain it. So one of us, and each of us will get the chance to explain, but one of us makes it into this competition, and we can only bring one other person with us.
Okay, see, that's different.
There
We're
we go.
not-
And
now
so
we're
we're
not
not competing against each other. We're just competing. Only one of us can competing.
Okay,
and
and
we
it's
can
an
only bring
Amazing
one
Grace
other
type thing,
person.
Yes.
physical and mental.
Physical, mental, and apparently they developed some concept where you can betray people, which is thrown out
Yeah,
at
now
this point because
that's
like
not important. That's you wanted your betrayal thing. That's the big thing. But it
I love
doesn't
betraying
work.
people.
It's funny that you love betraying people. Then when the Nothic betrayed you, you hated that. Where is your common
It was
sense?
We killed
Yeah,
the
irony.
We killed
Yeah,
the Nothic in the end.
Nothic
That's
in the
right. Because of you.
The
you
funny
wanted to
thing is
kill
that the
him.
Nothic was so much easier to kill after you guys fought the Banshee.
Oh man, that
No
banshee.
I was scared of that. bitch.
I was so happy when one of you died right away on the
That
We
was
should
so-
have kept the silence up.
I should've.
Now we know for the next Banshee.
But apparently
Fine.
to attract a banshee, just like
This
That's all they were calling it.
And then light it on fire? Did we do that?
Yeah, I'm trying to like test the waters and be like, I move one step in, and Aaron's like, I move over to the recliner and pull down my pants and piss
I
off
was like, what are you
recliner.
doing?
I'm like, whoa, Aaron, I wanted to see if we could get some stuff first, and the banshee shows up, and I'm surprised he had enough time to pull his pants up before the banshee attacked us.
that's true. To doff plate armor would have taken at least like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'd have to put it back on.
Okay, so back to the competition thing.
So in our 6 group, who would be the best 2 people?
Okay, so we get to choose the best 2. Okay, I'm gonna say that I'm probably not one of the best 2. I have good mental acuity, and I can keep up physically, but not as much as some of the other people in our group. I think there are people with similar acuity to me that have better stamina than I do.
I think me and Aaron would be the best team.
I don't know, man. Don't you
We're
get
both
winded
smart.
pretty fast?
What? But then who else?
I heard Elizabeth dragged you around like Europe.
Yeah, but I made it everywhere. Like we were there 2 months.
I'd
and we
rather
did
have the
all
person
walk it.
dragging you. Though.
Fine, take a little bit.
I don't know, Kylie, would you
Be able to keep
keep
up.
up?
I watched Amazing Race. I could do it.
Well, are we talking like Amazing Race, or different kind of?
How's your directions? How are
I'm
you
good
with
with directions.
I'm excellent with directions. I found out how to.
You guys don't want me.
Yeah.
I am not good with directions.
amazing with
I am
I think
fine.
like you on a team with someone else that was good with directions would be a good fit.
Yeah,
but
like you and me,
together, I don't
but
think
you
would
two
be
would-
good.
No, I was thinking about it.
Both be like, I don't know where we're going.
I was thinking about it though. As far as like us being on a team, you and me, Aaron, I'd be fine with him betraying me because I just kind of expect it. I just know Aaron
Yeah.
would. I'd be like, all right, yeah, this is my time, right? All right, see you later.
See, I would. It's hard because like I think we could all form like amazing teams, and it's very situational. It's like it depends on what.
So what would be? So we. What
But
would
the
be
reason I
smart?
say me and Aaron was just because like Aaron's got that like very if it were me like if I'm because we're going off the assumption that you're the one who's going and then you'd have to choose someone else. Like I'd want Aaron because there are some things physically that I wouldn't be able
No,
to
we
do
changed
that
it
he
up. We
would.
said who would make the best team
Oh,
together out of the 6 of us, the best 2-person team. That's what I thought we were going for. That's why I said not me. You know, like who?
I have a way of
I
bringing it in your betrayal. I have a way of bringing it back
Okay.
into play. So let's say you have to stay in the competition. Like you specifically, Aaron, have to stay, but your partners are interchangeable.
You can.
And so let's say at the beginning of a set, you're told this is what you're doing, and like our group will single out like, okay, this is the gist of what we've been told we're gonna do. This is who we think will work, and you can say, no, I don't trust your judgment. I'm picking this person instead.
I'm taking Azure for this one. It's like how to annoy someone.
No, we need
Honestly,
someone to run on a
I
hamster
think the
wheel.
problem. I think the problem here is like so. Aaron, obviously, he's. I would say he's the most.
I want to be.
He's the most fit of us. He is the most fit of us. I mean, not because we are unfit. We are all pretty fit, but Aaron,
No.
Aaron is the most fit. So Aaron would obviously be the best choice for one of the people
Athletics.
because he has that athletic part. The
He's
other
the most
person would be a
intelligent.
good intelligent, and we're all very intelligent. And
This is
so-
why I'm just
it's-
not the.
it's
I would be
hard.
the last choice.
Well,
because
no.
I'm not as intelligent, and I'm not as.
we're
in
all
shape.
intelligent. It's like I think
Alright,
yeah,
let's
but
say
that's the thing. It's like we are all different.
let's say
types.
Elizabeth and I team up.
Okay.
Surprise twist. You guys can all enter too. Now who do you choose out of the 4 of you?
So it'd be
So,
you and
but-
Elizabeth,
Yeah.
And then another
Okay.
team, I'd choose Kylie.
I would go with Levi.
Thanks, Alan.
So
Let
You're
me
my
bring-
second choice after Aaron.
Oh,
Ooh.
goody.
let me bring.
But
some-
I explained why I would choose Aaron first.
Let me bring up something to you guys though. That's kind of okay. The 6 of us. The reason the 6 of us are the founders of WerePanda is because we're the perfect 6-man team. I think if there was a competition where the 6 of us were against other groups of 6, I don't think we could lose.
Yeah, I could see that.
What if it was a bodybuilding contest and we were up against a group of 6
Well, just like in
bodybuilders?
general.
An amazing race type contest. Like if it was
So if it was like
groups
a
of 6.
Renaissance type
Yeah,
thing where it's
you
just
know.
like a knowledge of everything.
I
Kinda
want to
like a
enter in a
general-
competition like that.
That would be cool.
honestly.
Yeah. Well, when WerePanda's bigger, maybe we can.
Make it up.
Like, did you guys ever see the gauntlet that Rooster Teeth did? It was like a video game competition. Each round, you did different video game type challenges, and if your team won, you were safe, and then your team would lose members based on whether or not you won or lost. Or I think the second time they had groups of 6, and if your group lost, you were voted out, and everything like that. If WerePanda Productions as a group had gone on that, I think we would have won.
Was it in video games though?
Yeah, it was all types of video games, shooters, Mario, racing games, just different things.
Racing games, it was like Double Dash.
Well,
Daniel
racing.
and I, like,
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Double Dash. I never lose.
I'm great at racing
Only
games.
in there.
That's like one of my favorite types, besides Mario Kart. Anything where it's
I just
racing
love
with
throwing the
weapons.
stuff though. Like I always get that lucky green shell. Like
Yeah.
even if it's a green shell, or like the banana pills when someone's throwing
Getting
stuff
green
at
shells.
us. Yeah. That's very good. And timing it right when you hit the box, dumping that red
Red
box
box
that no
of
one
people.
likes.
Yeah.
no
Some people.
Those are so stupid.
one's ever fallen
I'm
for
always
it.
sad when I know, right? I'm always sad when I get up like, oh well, that was a
I just wait
waste.
till people are close enough behind me and then grab it.
Yeah.
Like waster.
Or a shield.
Look at you
It
guys
was-
talking the lingo.
Well, there was one time I was able to beat a blue shell. I forget how. I did it,
Whoa.
but
You're not
think it
supposed
was.
to.
I think it was like. I think we all got zapped right as
Right,
the blue shell
hit,
hit. So I mean, I got the effect of the zap, but it was
Blue
better
shell
than
didn't
the blue
blow you
shell,
up.
Yeah. Because whoever got the zapping thing is not in second place because you only get the good stuff when you're like
In last.
last.
And second to last.
I remember saving a star.
See, that really bugs
till
me.
the
That
end. I remember saving the bullet bill till
Right.
I got in first place and then used the
Oh,
bullet bill. It was
that's awesome.
amazing. I actually like starting in last place and
Yeah, and working your way up because you get all the good stuff while you're in last.
Yeah.
Make your way up to
By
the
the time
front.
you're up in the first,
You
it's-
might have,
the
like, if you had
round's
the
over.
bullet.
The round's
Yeah.
over.
Well,
and you
so
get it
I
right
don't
in the
You
first
like
can't
spot.
get it.
I always hated the fact that like the people in last got like amazing stuff and the people in front didn't get.
They just
Because-
Like, oh, green shells
mushrooms,
again. Great.
green
Yeah.
shells, mushrooms,
One
Because-
single
yeah,
mushroom.
yeah.
Because
You don't get the
because
infinite
that
mushroom.
really does make the game like very lopsided. Like
What
That's
what's
how it's
cool with
supposed
Double
to be.
Dash is depending on who you were, you
You
get
got special
special.
items.
You got like you based on your specific character.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
The red Koopa was like the 3 Koopa
Yeah,
shells.
so like Aaron and I would play Toad and
and
Red Koopa, so we would get the golden mushroom and the 3 red shells whenever we got specials, and it was like the perfect thing, we would get the bananas and the red things to kind of save us every once in a while, but then we'd get a special and we could use it to stop people from getting in front of us or like get that nice boost.
Yeah.
And
no, and I know that, but it does like it's so lopsided
It
because
is.
like someone could be in first, but then like all these people behind him get this great stuff, and
yeah, but the idea is then by the time you're back in the end, you're getting the good stuff too. It's the people in the back are supposed to be getting the
Try-
good stuff to try to.
I think
close
it's
the
to try to
gaps.
like
yeah.
keep it so there's not one person an outlier like that's lapping people. It's like to try to keep everyone in the rat race, so to say.
Oh my God, that game,
So
I
to
didn't
say.
realize that game was so long.
Well, normally it's not. Like for some reason that
We
game
were just really bad.
we were just
We
taking it
constantly got.
there's a lot of
downsized.
downsizings. Plus, on top of that, we got a ton of stock for the small
Yeah.
deals. It's like the small deals normally aren't just stock; they're supposed to be things that help increase your monthly cash flow. That you could also.
Well,
sell
Aaron
and
got it.
everything.
Yeah, I got good stuff.
Yeah, like every once in a while, it's helpful. But like honestly, the first time I
mad when
played.
I bought that boat at the
Oh,
start.
Yeah,
that was the first time I've ever seen that. It's a fun game though. Like
It was
once
fun. I did
once
like
you guys left, we started going faster to try to get these two out, and we could have been going a lot faster, but we were just kind of
Well,
waiting for
I
everyone. and
mean,
it was
I enjoyed the gameplay. I hate games with dice rolls.
because of the luck.
Yeah, You give me a game with the dice, and I'm gonna land on Boardwalk every single time.
And not be able to buy it. And have to pay.
Is there any game out there that's fun that's not random?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, like
Chess is fun, but yeah, no.
honestly,
The
there are a
only
few
card
games that are that way.
Stratego.
Clue's a good. Well,
Is
you
it-
got the dice
is it-
rule there, so the rent if you can't make it.
Stratego.
Stratego.
There's one.
Really, really.
So
fun.
mainly it's specific
It's just
strategy
a
games.
strategy
Well,
game
yeah.
that I know.
I'll
Um,
tell you what the
Space Alert.
Space Alert.
That's still cards.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
the
that's
luck
true.
of-
You have the luck of what enemy.
And it's the same thing with Shadows over Camelot too.
Oh, Shadows
luck of those cards.
Shadows
Well,
over Camelot.
I'll tell you this: there's some element of luck to Kingdom Hearts trading card game, but I think the way it's designed reduces that luck element to almost nothing because that's the only game I've ever been able to develop a strategy for as a card game because you can choose to discard cards at the end of your turn so you can draw more. You're drawing to 6 cards every turn. You can flip through your deck quickly, and then there's no decking yourself and everything, and so you base your strategy based on all the cards in your deck, and then once you know which cards you need, you look for those cards, and anything you know you don't need, you just get rid of. So that game, I enjoyed it. I never felt like luck was involved in that one, but most other card games and dice games and everything like cribbage, I like cribbage. It's fun, but
I know.
I have the
It has that
worst
element of
luck.
luck.
I have the worst
Well,
luck.
it's also because I think it's also because you're inexperienced.
What is a cribbage?
Cribbage, it's a game with like a pegboard, and it's a card game, together, and it has a lot to do with math. Like
Oh.
a majority
would've-
of the card combinations are done with math.
I would have pegged that from the name.
Like,
Just joking.
You don't draw conclusions.
Oh.
Well, I think this is a good spot to end the podcast for today. I think we talked about a lot of good stuff.
Did we, Daniel?
I think so.
I
Did
like
we?
well, you missed the majority
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
hypothetical.
What was that? What was the, you guys didn't
Don't worry
even
about
tell me
it.
about it.
It's
No,
done.
you can
It's
listen to
done.
it now.
Yeah, you can listen to the podcast later.
It's over.
Well, okay, this was the
Where?
And,
Podcast.
Featuring.
and Daniel because I never get to say
Oh,
it.
really?
Revive.
wow,
And
Alan.
came.
Wow,
Hey,
Daniel.
Ron.
that was just
Yeah, I had
And
to do it.
Kylie.
There we go.
Yeah.
Finally, someone let her sing.
That was-
Like,
What's a
English
parting-
is
hard.
English.
What's a
That's
parting
silly
thought?
vision.
glitter.